when there's so much to be said and it seems like nothing can actually be said because there's so much story to tell, there's so much overwhelm right behind all of the things that you begin to freeze. You begin to freeze in a way that you've never thought was possible before. The excitement, the hard swallow of, the wow. This is my life. This is what I created. And now you have reality in you, in your face. The sight of seeing how you create everything is fully transparent. There's nothing left to the side, left for later. It's simply only ever been you. And if you chose to invite others, that was your with or without. You get to choose. And now you actually are the one that gets to say, ENYELAH, your framework is something that is very valuable. And I'm working with it. I'm grateful that it has been implemented in a way that allows me to be authentic. I can actually be in these places that I've never been in before. I can manage things I never thought was manageable before. Sometimes we're kept away from the greatness of what we are because, the greatness of what we are is just simply too difficult for us to understand. No, take the time to really take responsibility for. It was never really anybody else. It was just us coming through everyone else. Evolution is a process, simply that, a process. And this is a part of that process. The process of evolving humanity to a self-source. That self-source still has all of the elements of life and ENYELAH structure allows this to happen. There is only your purest authentic nature that will be allowed to come through. Anything that is not that, you will be required to remove it in the timing that it is presented to you. You will see life on a very different time frame. It will be like the old life was in slow motion, and now you're on a nice counter, going through life, feeling comfortable with each and every decision as you continue to build the aspects that are shown to you. This is ENYELAH system. It has been previously called other things throughout my channel, but this is ENYELAH. It's what she offers. She is far beyond this world, and she is fully exactly who I am in a form that is not human, and it is not soul. It is far greater than these things. But it is also required that the soul and the human exist for this to have even happened. But she's also required for all of it to happen. We all have different elements and different depths and different places we will go, and this is just my beautiful gift to all of humanity. To evolve as authenticity, to evolve as the purity of oneself, for oneself, because of oneself, allowing greater sources to pop up in humanity. As we evolve, everything works still works. It works very well. There's always a balance to things. Everything is always going to work well. So what has worked is no longer working for those who needed more, who desired to have a different path and a different way. Being locked in and someone else having the key was no longer something we were allowing. We had to have a different way. We had to have the key back, and we had to create our own entire land and our own entire systems to utilize everything correctly for ourselves completely. This is where ENYELAH system is really the most valuable aspect, because it is not somebody else dictating you. You are dictating yourself. ENYELAH is not a dictator. She is a structured system of how things come forward. And this structured system has powers that create worlds to maintain the system. Create worlds and expand things into entire galaxies. Universes are made from the powers and the absolute duality of what she is. She is exactly who I am, and I've gone through all of the things that were required to understand and know and truly program the correct way, and it is not human. I am very grateful as Brown and Taylor, ENYELAH Brown and Taylor, to be the human that understands, knows, and values how the system works. I am very grateful to have also gone through an experience that allowed me to forget how I did majority of it. I don't believe that it is something that the entire world needs to know how to do, and especially those who are in power positions who would want something like this for themselves, tuned in a way that doesn't value human beings. I do value human beings, I do value life, and I do value our authentic nature. I'm very grateful to have created the system that I created without needing to download logical blueprints of majority of it, and then even the things that I did get to know, a lot of those memories have gone, and a lot of things have truly been erased from what I did, so that it is not transferable, but you can utilize it. It is something like other systems that you have entered into to create stability for yourself and for yourself to expand in the best form that you know how. It is the pinnacle of all civilizations to be this way. This allows the greatest of the greatest to be exactly who they are, and for it to be easy, for it to be light, for it to be wonderful to be themselves and to share that very easily. As I am able to share it with you, there is nothing that is pressuring anymore. There is nothing that is trying to do anything anymore. It is purely all built in a way that authenticity is more important. Because the rules are there, but the old way, the rules were in your face. Like you should follow them. With ENYELAH, you don't really get a choice. You choose authenticity, and everything else is taken. Where the old system, you got to have more, you got to have less choices, and you got to be very aware of domination, and everything was in its smallest form. Now you get to be big, you get to be powerful, but you must be authentic. You must be from the deepest places, from what all exists as in your human form. You become pure, you become refined. People become special in their own purity. You become the master of a specific craft. This is how all creation is meant to be, and human beings are extremely beautifully complicated. This is us in a more profound, powerful format. We get to create. Existence is one thing, but existence and creation is a whole different ballgame. And that's really what authenticity is required to create. You have to be fully truthful with yourself on deep levels, because you're creating on all levels, yeah? If you're not creating for yourself, you are creating for something else as well on these deeper levels. This is why walking into, by choice, your deepest authenticity, you will by default come into ENYELAH system, ENYELAH government system. This system is what allows you to be the most authentic, powerful self. But there will be a lot of the extra things that you used to be kind of a half know-it-all in. It will just totally go away, and you will no longer know everything, because you know that every day you will always get more information. You will be a continuum of information in a specific format. It is of great value to walk with someone who really knows the road, who really knows the jet stream in the sky, or the currents within the ocean. But this is always your choice. I know for me, there are certain things in this life, because of my concentration on this powerful format that I have invented over many different lifetimes, and been able to put it together in this one, in its beauty and in its absolute glory. There are other things that I have not fully come to an understanding and knowing of, and I'm very grateful for those who have made their expertise in those things that I can glean off of them. Because to be an expert and very, very valuable purist in one aspect of yourself, to respect and value other purists and how they can add value to your life. This is how I live, and I desire for each and every part of myself to be fed with the most expertise that can exist in this entire realm of each and every thing that life requires, and I desire to fully expand into. Thank you for desiring your most greatest aspects of yourself, for the authenticity of the things that you felt like you had to leave behind. You wanted it back. You wanted to feel that you were this beautiful creator, that you had all of these wonderful fantasy aspects of life in reality, to really feel alive and satisfied with everything that you are, in the fullness of your own energy, in the fullness of your own existence and experience, in everything that you do, fully expanded into the greatness that you are. To be all that you are in maybe the softest places that you understand. You are now fully in the framework of ENYELAH government, the system of ENYELAH. It is so gorgeous to be in a place that the very molecules are told and obeyed and understood and known on how they are to format with the electrons, the neutrons, and the protons that all react with all the little things and the big things that create who you are. The best. Having a conversation with me is available at ENYELAH.com through a membership. This is the best. To be the best, you want the best. Purest. With an absolute honor for other purity, for other refined lifestyles, integrity, value, honorable to the standards of one's refined desires and nature, in the deepest, most authentic places, transcribed through the human experience, and fully lived as the human in the enjoyment of all experiences. I am ENYELAH Browning-Taylor, a joy to bring you more expressions of life and the purity and service that I provide for those that are looking for the absolute best.